Hey there, curious minds. Are you ready for a wild ride across all 50 states of the USA? Did you know there's a town that elects a dog as mayor in Minnesota? Buckle up because we're about to dive into 101 mind-blowing facts from every state of the USA. Let's go. 1. In Alabama, there's a one-of-a-kind unclaimed baggage center where lost suitcases get a second chance at life. This quirky store is a treasure trove of forgotten items, from clothes to gadgets, even the occasional wedding dress. 2. Maine is famous for its lobster industry, with around 4,500 fishermen supplying nearly 90% of the U.S. lobster market. Among them, the rare blue lobster, found off the coasts of Maine, is a true marvel. This unique creature appears only once in every 2 million lobsters due to a rare genetic mutation. 3. Did you know that Florida is home to the oldest continuously inhabited city in the U.S.? That's right. St. Augustine has been around since 1565, which means it was already a bustling town when Shakespeare was still writing plays. Located on Florida's Atlantic coast, this historic gem is packed with charming cobblestone streets, centuries-old buildings, and even a legendary fountain of youth. 4. The state of Oregon is distinguished by having the highest concentration of strip clubs per inhabitant worldwide. With one establishment for every 12,000 residents, it surpasses other cities known for their vibrant nightlife, such as Miami, New Orleans, and Vegas. The city of Portland in Oregon has more strip clubs per capita than any other city in the United States. It has one strip club for every 9,500 inhabitants. 5. Did you know that Ohio is home to the world's first commercial airport? That's right. Long before massive international airports with endless security lines and overpriced coffee, there was College Park Airport in Cuyahoga County, which opened in 1916. 6. Louisiana is home to the longest bridge over water in the world, stretching a whopping 24 miles. Known as the Atchafalaya Basin Bridge, this engineering marvel seems to go on forever. 7. Georgia is a rap powerhouse, with Atlanta producing over half of hip-hop's biggest stars. Even Kanye West was born in Atlanta before being raised in Chicago. 8. Montana is home to Wild Horse Island, one of the few freshwater islands in the world with a pine forest. Located in Flathead Lake, the state's largest freshwater lake, this unique island is a nature lover's paradise. 9. In Utah, the first KFC opened in 1952 in Salt Lake City, focusing only on fried chicken. Over the years, Colonel Sanders traveled across the U.S., meeting potential investors and franchisees. 10. Missouri was the first state to have a train postal route, known as the Pony Express. Operating from 1860 to 1861, it sped up mail delivery from Missouri to California. They even built a monument to a horse here. Talk about galloping through history. 11. Virginia is the birthplace of 8 U.S. presidents, more than any other state. Among them are historical giants like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison, who all played key roles in shaping the nation. 12. Montana is home to Wild Horse Island, one of the few freshwater islands in the world with a pine forest. Located in Flathead Lake, the state's largest freshwater lake, this unique island is a nature lover's paradise. Who knew pine trees could thrive on an island surrounded by crystal clear waters? 13. Colorado is home to the longest street in America, Colfax Avenue in Denver. Stretching an impressive 26 miles, this road is packed with history, culture, and plenty of places to explore. 14. Oklahoma is home to the largest casino in the U.S., the WinStar World Casino and Resort in Thackerville. This massive complex boasts over 600,000 square feet of gaming space, with thousands of slot machines, poker tables, and more. 15. Georgia is known as the Peach State because it's one of the top producers of peaches in the U.S. Thanks to its humid subtropical climate, Georgia is the perfect place for peach growing. In a typical year, the state can produce around 75 million pounds of delicious peaches. 16. Indiana is famous for its love of racing, especially the iconic Indy 500, one of the most important motorsport events in the world. Each year, thousands of fans flock to the race, making the state a hub of speed, adrenaline, and unforgettable action. 17. The highest mountain in the U.S. is in Alaska, Denali standing at a towering 20,000 feet. It's the highest peak in North America and a true challenge for mountaineers. 18. Hawaii is the state that is the only place in the United States where it grows coffee commercially on large-scale plantations. On the island of Hawaii, produces coffee in a variety known as Kona, which is appreciated worldwide for its unique flavor. 19. California is the most populous state in the U.S., with an estimated 39.5 million residents. That's more people than entire countries like Canada, with 37.5 million, or Peru, with 32.4 million. 20. Wisconsin is known as the cheese capital of the U.S., with the most licensed cheese producers in the country and even a cheese museum. This state is home to over 3 billion pounds of cheese produced annually, offering world-famous varieties. 21. Oklahoma is famous for being the epicenter of some of the most destructive tornadoes in the U.S. With the highest tornado frequency per square mile, it's part of the Tornado Alley. The state experiences extreme weather, especially during spring, making it the ultimate place for tornado watchers. 22. Colorado is famous for its altitude, sitting a mile above sea level, making it the state with the highest average elevation in the U.S. For example, Mount Elbert stands at an impressive 14,400 feet. If you love high-altitude adventures, Colorado is the place to be. 23. Washington is home to the world's largest freezer, capable of storing a mind-blowing 350 million pounds of frozen food. Located at Lineage in Richland, this giant freezer plays a crucial role in the food supply chain, keeping vast amounts of food fresh for long periods. 24. Iowa has a fun fact you might not know. It has the highest concentration of pig farms in the U.S. In fact, it produces over a quarter of all the pigs in the country, making it the top pork producer in the nation. 25. Massachusetts is famous for its crazy driving style, especially in cities like Boston. Local drivers are known for being aggressive on the road, taking risks, switching lanes without signals, and ignoring traffic rules. 26. Minnesota is famous for being the land of 10,000 lakes, with over 10,000 lakes to explore. This water wonderland makes it a paradise for outdoor activities like fishing, kayaking, and hiking. The largest lake, Red Lake, spans a massive 288,800 acres. Talk about a giant splash. 27. Every year, Alaska residents receive a check from the state government, funded by the profits from natural resources, especially oil. In 2025, the payout was $172 per person. October 1st is a great day to be an Alaskan, as it's when this annual bonus lands in your pocket. 28. The first train in the world to run on electricity was tested in Montana. In 1889, the electric train of the Northern Pacific Railway began operating in Butte, marking a groundbreaking moment in railroad history. 29. Only 2 U.S. states have never hit 100 degrees Fahrenheit. One is Alaska, but the other is surprisingly Hawaii. Despite its tropical climate and active volcanoes, Hawaii has never surpassed this temperature. 30. Wyoming is the least populated state in the U.S., with just over 578,000 residents. That means plenty of wide-open spaces, big skies, and an escape from the crowds. 31. Wyoming is home to the world's first national park, Yellowstone, established in 1872. Famous for its geysers, hot springs, and wildlife, this iconic park is a must-see for nature lovers. 32. Pennsylvania, which roughly translates to Penn's Woods, got its name by combining the last name of William Penn's father, Admiral Sir William Penn, with the Latin word Sylvania, meaning wooded lands. 33. Maine is the only state in the U.S. that shares a border with just one other state, New Hampshire. 34. Montpelier, located in Vermont, is the only U.S. state capital without a McDonald's. Not only that, but it also has the smallest population of any state capital, with just around 8,000 residents. 35. New Hampshire made history by becoming the first state to declare independence from England in 1775. A bold move that set the stage for the American Revolution. 36. The classic board game Monopoly is based on the streets of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Every street name in the game is an exact replica of a real street in the city, from Baltic Avenue to Park Place. So next time you play, you're walking the same streets as the original inspiration. 37. Montana is home to the least busy commercial airport in the U.S., Dawson Community Airport, with only about 4,000 passengers a year, or roughly 11 a day. It's all about wide open spaces. 38. North Dakota is full of fun records. In 2007, 8,962 people made snow angels at the state capitol, setting a world record. And in 1982, Rutland, North Dakota, served the world's largest hamburger. 39. Also, North Dakota has the lowest percentage of people with a college degree at just 19%. These stats highlight significant health and education challenges in the state. 40. West Virginia has the highest obesity rate in the U.S., with nearly 38% of its population affected. In 2023, over half of the state's residents were overweight and about 4 out of 10 were obese. 41. Texas stands out for its impressive road infrastructure, boasting about 53,000 bridges, almost twice as many as any other state. The Queen Isabella Memorial Bridge, located on South Padre Island, is the longest bridge in the state. 42. New Mexico hosts the world's largest international hot air balloon festival in Albuquerque. Every year, thousands of visitors gather to witness hundreds of colorful balloons of all shapes and sizes soaring across the sky, creating a breathtaking spectacle unlike any other. 43. Kentucky is home to more caves than anywhere else on Earth. Around 430 of its 600 miles of caves have been explored. Plus, the Mammoth Cave, located in Mammoth Cave National Park, is the largest cave system in the world, stretching over 680 kilometers of passageways. 44. There are 2 U.S. states that don't border any others, Hawaii and Alaska. These 2 states are geographically isolated, making them unique on the U.S. map. While Alaska is separated by land, Hawaii is entirely surrounded by the Pacific Ocean. 45. Washington is the state with the highest percentage of residents holding college degrees in the U.S. Over 65% of adults have a bachelor's degree, and nearly 39% have postgraduate degrees. 46. Alabama is the state with the highest religious devotion, with 82% of adults strongly believing in God. Religion plays a central role in its culture and traditions, with various faiths like Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, and Native American religion. In contrast, New Hampshire is the least religious state, with only 33% of adults identifying as highly devout. 47. Vermont is known as the Green Mountain State, with more than 70% of its land covered by forests. The Green Mountains are home to diverse wildlife and offer popular trails like the Long Trail, which attracts hikers from around the world seeking adventure in Vermont's beautiful natural landscapes. 48. California generates more income than the sum of any other 10 states in the U.S. With Silicon Valley and Hollywood driving its economy, it's no surprise. However, living there is incredibly expensive, and many areas are overcrowded. 49. Mississippi is the poorest state in the U.S., with a poverty rate of 18.1%, almost 10 points above the national average. Despite this, Mississippi is rich in culture, with deep roots in blues music and Southern cuisine, making it a unique and vibrant place. 50. Alaska is home to the small town of Whittier, where 80% of the population lives in just one building. The Begik Towers, a 14-story complex, houses nearly everything: homes, a school, a post office, a health clinic, a supermarket, and even a laundromat. With only 200 residents, this is a truly unique way of living. 51. Michigan is home to Mackinac Island, the only city in the United States where vehicles are banned. This unique law was enacted in 1898, and to this day, the only way to get around is by bicycle or horse-drawn carriage. 52. Arizona stands out as the state with the highest percentage of land dedicated to Native American tribes, housing vast Native American reservations. It is home to 22 federally recognized tribes, including the Navajo, Apache, and Hohokam. These tribes have deep cultural roots in the region, adding to the state's rich history. 53. Although Coca-Cola originated in Georgia, its main competitor, Pepsi, was invented in North Carolina in 1898 by a pharmacist called Caleb DePenevis Bradham. 54. Vermont is the leading producer of maple syrup in the United States, producing enough syrup each year to fill about 40,000 bathtubs. The state boasts the highest concentration of maple trees in the country, making it a top destination for syrup lovers and enthusiasts of all things sweet. 55. New Hampshire is the state where people drink the most beer, enjoying a high consumption rate. Meanwhile, Maryland reports the lowest beer consumption, with only 19.7 gallons per person. No surprise that Budweiser by Anheuser-Busch remains the dominant beer in the US 56. Massachusetts is the birthplace of basketball, invented by James Naismith in 1891. The state is also home to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, located in Springfield, that honors the sport's greatest players, coaches, and contributors. 57. Kentucky was once part of Virginia before becoming its own state. During the War of 1812, more than half of the U.S. soldiers killed in combat were from Kentucky. 58. Rhode Island was home to the first newspaper in the United States. The Providence Gazette began circulating in 1762 in Providence, making it the country's first printed media outlet. 59. California has a GDP of $3.6 trillion, surpassing India's GDP of $317 trillion. If California were an independent nation, it would rank 5th in the world for the largest GDP. 60. North Dakota has the fewest McDonald's in the country, with only 29 locations. Look for example this. 61. Delaware was the first state to join the U.S., setting the stage for the nation. Meanwhile, Hawaii was the last state to join, becoming part of the Union in 1959. 62. Arkansas is home to the only public diamond-producing site in the world, the Crater of Diamonds State Park. The diamond is also the state gem. In June 2015, a woman discovered a remarkable 8.52-carat white diamond at the park, the largest ever found by a visitor, showcasing its rich potential for finding precious gems. 63. Iowa is the only state in the U.S. with more pigs than people, boasting a pig population of over 22 million, compared to just 3 million humans. 64. Arkansas is home to the world's largest retailer, Walmart, founded by Sam Walton in Bentonville in 1950. Here we see the first Walmart that Sam Walton opened in Rogers, Arkansas in 1962-65. Mexico is home to Santa Fe, the highest state capital in the U.S., sitting at 6,561 feet above sea level in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Founded in 1610, it is also the oldest capital in the country. 66. In 1803, Napoleonic France sold the Louisiana Territory to the U.S., a massive 0.82 million square miles, about 22% of today's U.S. land area. The French spent all the money on an unfulfilled project to invade the United Kingdom. Talk about a deal with a twist in history. 67. Louisiana is the only U.S. state that has parishes instead of counties. The term parish dates back to the state's French and Spanish colonial past, when territorial boundaries aligned with church parishes. 68. Connecticut made history in 1937 as the first state to issue license plates for vehicles. This groundbreaking move revolutionized vehicle registration and became standard across all 50 states. The original Connecticut plates were made of steel, featuring the state's name and a unique number, setting the precedent for modern vehicle identification. 69. Nevada was home to the first casino on what is now the Las Vegas Strip. In 1931, the Paradise Club opened its doors, marking the beginning of the city's gaming legacy. However, the first major resort-style casino on the Strip was El Rancho Vegas, which opened in 1941. This milestone helped shape Las Vegas into the world-famous gambling and entertainment hub it is today. 70. Arizona is the sunniest state in the U.S. According to weather stats, 4 Arizona cities rank among the top 10 sunniest. For example, Yuma shines brightest with the sun 90% of the year. 71. Nevada has more mountain ranges than any other state. Its highest point, Boundary Peak, towers at 14,764 feet. 72. Alan Shepard, the first American in space, was born in Derry, New Hampshire. 73. New Jersey is the most densely populated state in the United States, with over 1,000 people per square mile. This is more than twice the national average, making it incredibly packed. 74. Georgia is home to the largest aquarium in the United States, the Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta. With over 10 million gallons of water, it houses more than 500 species from around the world. Visitors can explore a vast array of marine life, including beluga whales, manta rays, and even whale sharks. 75. In Shelby County, Tennessee, there are more horses than in any other county in the United States. With over 10,000 horses, the county is a paradise for equestrians and horse lovers alike. 76. A fun fact about Illinois is that the state was home to the world's first skyscraper. In 1885, the home insurance building was completed in Chicago. 77. In Kansas was born Hattie McDaniel, a woman who made history in 1940 by becoming the first African-American woman to win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. She earned the award for her role as Mammy in the classic film Gone with the Wind. 78. New York was once the capital of the United States, but only for a short time. From January 11, 1785 to August 12, 1790, the city served as the nation's capital and the meeting place for Congress. 79. Arizona is home to the most isolated town in the contiguous U.S., Supai. Hidden deep within the Grand Canyon, this remote village has no roads leading to it. The only way to get there? A helicopter ride or an 8-mile hike from the nearest road. With stunning waterfalls and no cars, it's a truly unique and secluded place. 80. Ohio is the birthplace of extraordinary figures like Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, basketball legend LeBron James, and actress Sarah Jessica Parker. 81. Kentucky's signature drink is bourbon, a whiskey distilled primarily from corn. To be legally recognized as bourbon, it must be made in the U.S., but over 95% comes from Kentucky. 82. Massachusetts is home to Dunkin' Donuts. Founded in 1948 by William Rosenberg, what started as a small coffee and donut shop quickly grew into a global franchise. Today, Dunkin' has over 12,000 stores in 36 countries. 83. Florida has more golf courses than any other state in the U.S., boasting over 1,200. It far surpasses states like California, Texas, New York, and Michigan. 84. Oklahoma City is the only capital in the world with active oil wells around it, highlighting the vital role of the oil industry in its growth. Crude extraction has been a major source of income and jobs for the state. 85. Ohio gets its name from the Ohio River, which comes from an Iroquois word meaning Great River. 86. Indiana is home to the town of Santa Claus, where thousands of letters to Santa arrive each year. Volunteers ensure that every child receives a personalized reply, keeping the magic of Christmas alive. 87. California was part of Mexico until 1848, when it became a U.S. territory after the Mexican-American War. Today, between 35% and 40% of California's population is of Hispanic origin, reflecting its deep historical ties to Mexico and Spain. 88. Utah stands out for having the youngest population in the entire country, with an average age of just 30.7 years. 89. Idaho is the leading potato producer in the United States. For example, in 2024, Idaho's harvest was expected to be over 20% larger than the previous year, with 145 million sabodihiri, an increase of more than 24 million sudiyori. The state's ideal soil and climate make it the perfect place for growing potatoes. 90. In 2005, the town of Clark, Texas, changed its name to Dish after striking a deal with Dish Network, which is part of EchoStar Communications. As compensation, its residents received a decade of free satellite TV service, along with digital recording devices. 91. Florida is one of the most corrupt states in the U.S. According to the Center for Public Integrity, it received low scores in transparency and accountability, including an F in access to information, political funding, and judicial oversight. 92. Colorado has the lowest obesity rate in the United States, reflecting its focus on an active and healthy lifestyle. People in Colorado frequently engage in outdoor sports like hiking, cycling, and skiing. 93. Rhode Island, despite being the smallest state in the United States, has more coastline than California. In fact, its shoreline stretches over 400 miles, offering a wide variety of beaches and coastal landscapes. 94. Texas has the lowest voter turnout in the country, with only 39% of its residents casting their votes. 95. Vermont is the safest state in the U.S., boasting the lowest violent crime rate in the country. This makes it an especially secure place for its residents, with peaceful communities and a strong sense of safety. 96. In Massachusetts, Harvard University opened as the first university in the United States, founded on October 28, 1636. 97. In South Carolina, located in Sumter, the world's largest ginkgo farm is a sight to behold. Covering more than 500 acres, the farm is home to over 1 million ginkgo trees, making it the largest of its kind in the world. 98. In Massachusetts, the state leads in intelligence levels with an average IQ of 104.3, significantly higher than the national average of around 98. This high intellectual level is partly due to its prestigious education system and the presence of renowned universities like Harvard and MIT. 99. In Delaware, the state stands out from others in the U.S. due to its lack of national parks. This means there are no historical sites, battlefields, or national parks within the state. It's a unique situation, as every other state in the U.S. has at least one national park system. 100. Believe it or not, one of New York's most surprising facts is that Central Park isn't the largest park in the city. That title goes to Pelham Bay Park, which spans over 1,000 acres. It features golf courses, federal-style mansions, tennis courts, and countless picnic spots. 101. Rhode Island may be the smallest state in the U.S., covering just 1,544 square miles. On the other hand, Alaska is the largest state in the United States, covering a vast 663,267 square miles. What fact about which state has surprised you the most? Leave it in the comments and subscribe for more Zarpato data.